welcome to an all-new episode of the MCR. I was trying to tweet out something literally seconds before, and I was slow. But welcome to an all-new episode of the MCR. This is the show where we break down the Disney Plus Marvel shows. And today we'll be breaking down episode 2 of She-Hulk. I am super excited to talk about this episode. There were so many Easter eggs. There was a certain thing that was said that somebody took as an Easter egg that I promise you guys was not an Easter egg. But we got so much stuff to get to, and we're going to get right to it. Let me introduce my panel first, starting off with the fellow New Yorker. Didge, what's going on, Didge? You like how I did that? You like how I just lied?
Why did you lie? What if I wasn't prepared because of that?
Didge was like, wait. He's definitely talking about Joel.
I definitely assumed it. All right, just going to Joel. Okay, got a couple minutes here. I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. Contrary to introductions, I am not from New York.
All this is going to be is lies. Nothing but lies. So everyone just brace yourself. There's nothing but lies coming out of here. But good to have you, Didge. Next up, the biggest Chicago Bears fan I have ever seen in my life. Dom, what's going on, Dom?
Oh, no. Never. I knew once he said Chicago Bears, I was like, here we go.
I'm just saying, Dom may or may not have a Jay Cutler tattoo.
I'm
just saying.
Even for a Bears fan, that would be messed up.
Wait. Really funny story. I actually know a Dolphins fan with a Jay Cutler tattoo.
Oh,
That's some wild.
No.
That's some wild shit. But what's going on, Dom?
I'm good, man. You know, I had a little interview today with one of the cast members of Tales from the Walking Dead. That'll be dropping real soon. So it was a pretty good day.
Okay, I see you out here, Dom. I see you out here. Can't wait till that drops. I need to know who that is because there's a certain cast member on that show that I am in love with. That is for sure. So, I see up in this fucking show. Look what I started. Next up is the only person I know that hates the Scarlet Witch more than me. Trayvon, what's going on, Trayvon? How you feeling today? You all right?
Well, I'm feeling good. I don't know what you're talking about.
You might want to turn down the auto-tune.
Time out.
What's wrong?
You sound like you in a blender.
Do I?
Yes.
Huh. I don't know why.
Wait. I love audio was just like,
What about now?
That sass down. It's still bad. It's
still T-Pain to me.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Try it again, Trayvon. Try it again.
Get better. It sound better.
Does it sound better now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Were you just too high?
I don't know.
No, I think it was all that sass he was about to give me. Came out. Yeah, it was too much sass. Tone it down. Let's try again. What's going on, Trayvon?
I'm not sure what's going on with the Scarlet Witch stuff. I mean, I love her. At least you said something that I understood because all the other stuff y'all were talking about, foreign language.
Understood.
Yeah, I'm happy, ready to talk about this episode. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So, at any point, did you think I was talking about an actual bear and a dolphin?
I mean, I know
tattoos.
That would be
I've heard
hilarious.
of these things, but
these
people you guys are talking about, and
I didn't think you guys were that into animals.
I was like, I was like, oh, is that in New York? Is that? Well, I didn't understand. I was like, I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know.
It's okay. Trayvon, I promise you this. When me and Joel see you at New York Comic Con, you will be given a complete lesson of the thing called sports. I promise you. We are here for She-Hulk. So you'll have to wait until Monday for the Much Ado About Nothing crew to break that down in its entirety. The news for DC that dropped today. But last but definitely not least, the biggest Tom Brady fan I've ever seen. Joel, what's going on?
I know that name. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Look, Trayvon had a full-on Captain America moment. Like, I understood that.
No, that reference.
I get you. What's up, Joel?
I am fine. If I'm a little moody today, it's because I've sworn off meat for like a week. So it's a personal personal challenge. It's hurting. I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. Even though I ate.
Is it like for good, or are you just doing it for like a challenge?
It's a personal challenge.
Okay.
Got you. Yeah. Last time I did that, it lasted till like a Domino's commercial came on. I said, "Oh, that's gone." Like, can I have two? No, absolutely not. No, what they were showing, that pepperoni looked great. It didn't taste great.
You could definitely get like a veggie pizza.
Yeah,
what?
Veggie pizza.
Plain pizza.
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? That should be outlawed. Like, if you say that, they should be able to hang up, like, legally. Like, what the fuck was that? Veggie? Like, what?
Let's avoid food talk for now. Thank you.
I do appreciate the warning, though. I do appreciate that. Mainly because I'm not used to it, so I'm glad to have that information to know where to steer clear from. So I appreciate that. No, Didge is definitely not a New Yorker at all. Like, at all.
Wisconsin born, Patriots owned.
Oh, I'm not Wisconsin born. I was born in California.
Really?
Yeah.
Where in California?
San Bernardino.
Really? Like, how long you been in Wisconsin?
I don't even know who you are. Like,
I was a military kid, so I've been in Wisconsin since I was like 7.
Wow. Yeah, I have my cousin was born in California too, but he was definitely raised in Virginia.
Damn, so you left Kobe Bryant for Ray Allen. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Let's jump into She-Hulk. Something don't sound right there, but anyway, let's jump right into She-Hulk.
That's funny.
Trayvon. Yeah, I would agree, Joel. I want to start with you because I feel as though this episode gave you that little sprinkle you've been asking for since what, November of last year? Your answer. Sprinkle. It don't matter. It happened. Okay? They mentioned the fact that some shit was in the water. So, you know what, Trayvon? I swear, they watched one of these episodes of you complaining and said, enough. Put it in there. They're like,
fine, I guess.
Put something in there.
Though, until I got on Twitter. That was the crazy part. I was watching the show. I was like, oh, okay. And I got on Twitter. I was like, wait, what? I didn't see that. Where was that at? So I literally opened the app back up and scrolled. I was like, it's blurry as hell. I see where they got this from, but it's blurry. What did he take the picture and enhance it? What the hell? Like, I should have to do all that.
Maybe it's
nah. They were trying to edit it in like post production and they didn't have enough time. They were past their deadline. Kevin said, "Fuck it, I don't even really care about it being in it at all. Just put it out. Whatever you got, put it out." That's what it was, Trayvon. There you go. So now you can't say that nobody's ever brought it up.
And I
but
feel
what
like
were
I'm
your
the only
thoughts on
person
this
that cares
episode?
about that part.
No, here's the crazy thing.
And I'm worried
here's
about
the
that.
crazy thing. I don't think you're the only one that cares. Obviously, the claw one was a massive one. That was just like, well. But I care about it. It's just one of those things I assumed would be brought up at a certain, whether for comical relief or it's actually part of a narrative of something. So I was just willing to be more patient about that answer. You were very impatient since it happened. So you were very much waiting for this moment. But what were your thoughts on not only those 2 Easter eggs, but the episode as a whole? Oh, wait. Let's do this real quick. Also, a man with metal claws attacked people at a bar. I don't think that will be important and brought up again. I wonder who it could be, though. Well, I don't think it'll be brought up again, but I definitely think that was Kevin Feige's way of nodding to the first time we've ever seen a live-action Wolverine. The first time we've seen a live-action Wolverine, he was fighting in a bar. So, to me, I thought that was really cool to kind of do the flashback, essentially, for throwback Wolverine fans. That was the first time we saw him. He was, doing UFC.
It's also
the first time we saw Wolverine.
It's also classic Wolverine.
Right.
Wolverine fighting in a bar.
Yeah, that's I mean, you know what, Joel? It's so funny because without the claws, we might have assumed it was Wolverine regardless. Like, fighting a bar.
It's so true.
That might be Wolverine. I don't really know many people's fighting a bar. That might be him. But Trayvon, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I thought it was funny because, she was like, come on, let's go in the bar. They're celebrating you or whatever. And she was drinking and then she turned back to normal and then she just... I was like, that's how it works? so you go back to normal and it just hits you.
The metabolism, man.
That is rough.
sucks.
Yeah.
That is rough.
That happened in
I was
the first
like,
episode. Remember, she like passed out and woke
Yeah,
up.
but it was the
with
next
hangover.
morning, like
Yeah, it was
hungover.
the next day,
Yeah,
not
but
like,
she checked. Well, she probably went to bed as She-Hulk. And
Yeah.
woke up as Jen, and she
it's
fuck.
crazy. I definitely wouldn't change back. At least for a day. Let it go past.
You gotta let it burn. You gotta burn it off.
When he wanted to fire, when he was firing, I was like, yeah, sucks. But he was like, oh, this brings too much attention. I was like, what? At first I was like, don't you want the attention? Like, what's wrong with this? Like, why don't you want it? I thought it was real fun. I thought that was real fun. He was like, oh, no, you fired. She's like, okay. And it was so funny how she was trying to be like, oh, I think about the job. I was like, girl, you taking the job. You just said all these loans you got to pay for. Like, you taking this job. So I don't know why you play it. Like, go ahead and say yes. Like, and I was like, and what do you think he hired you for? And she was like, oh, they just hired me because of She-Hulk. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Abomination, he had me a little bit at first. I was like, maybe he is fit, like, better now. And then I just can't help but I start thinking about, I said, but he was in Shang-Chi. And then it's just like, I just can't wait to this show. It's like, the only thing while I'm watching, I'm just like, I wish I had this whole thing right now. Because I would literally binge the hell out of it just for answers. Like, I just need some more answers. Because it's like with Wong and Shang-Chi and the Eternals line tells me that this shit happened after Eternals now. And I'm back to that. So it's just like, just things like that. And now I'm, the show is really fun. I'm enjoying the show. I just find it funny that Bruce is on a ship and just hangs up by losing connection from getting too far away. It's just like she don't even know that shit happened. She just he's gone. He hung up on me. Like, you really on your own, girl. Hope you know that. like he really gone. Like, I don't know. I can't, like, other than that, like, this episode felt like he had a lot of information and then not that much. And it felt like it was really quick. Because I was like, oh. I feel like once she got fired, she finally accepted the job, it was over. Like, that's literally, like, it was really fast, and I don't think much happened in between there. Which is fine. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm so bored. No, I still had fun. But it just made me feel like I wish I got 2 this week or something. Like, it just wasn't enough. I was like,
yeah.
Last week made me feel like I rewatched it immediately. This one I didn't really feel that, but I don't know if that's like a bad thing or not. It's just like, oh, okay.
It was so short. You were like,
yeah, I was okay. Nothing, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know it's necessarily a bad thing. I think sometimes a bit of a breather, whether an episode is good or bad, sometimes it's good. Cause shit, man, watching Ozark, there were moments where I was just like, I can maybe do an episode a month. This shit is not good for my blood pressure. Like that show is just like, fuck, this might be the only show ever in my life I might say, you might have to drop this shit weekly. I don't know if I can consume this all at once. This is a lot. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all, Trayvon. I don't think everything has to be consumed just because you have it. I think some things, space out just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know Joel usually does that even when things drop all at once. Just spread it out a little bit.
Let it breathe.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But I will say to the point you were saying of the idea of her not even knowing what's going on with Bruce, I like that they did that. Obviously, to feed into our suspicions of possible Planet Hulk, happening over there, but also it was a very logical way of whatever happens to She-Hulk, nobody can then say, well, why didn't Bruce come help her?
Sure.
He's not even in orbit, right? So it's like you got rid of that problem. So now we don't have to worry about why didn't Bruce?
She won't know
Hell yeah,
how to call
bruh.
anything, so.
I don't know what what Verizon was doing with Sakaar. They got some great hookup plans. I tell you that right now.
He's in the Stark satellite.
Right. He must be Trayvon. There must be some Stark satellite. I wonder if he has free reign. Like he just goes to Stark Enterprise and just goes, I want that, I want that, I want that. But in my car. It's like, well, I'm not going to tell him no. So
he is an Avenger. He needs to be on call at all times.
Right. Like I need all the good shit Stark had. Okay, all the good shit. But no, I really agree with you, Trayvon. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I thought this was great for her. I do understand her boss though. So Dom, as I pass it to you, I understood the boss saying you can't work, right? And he gave a reasoning as to why. I just lost this last case because they felt as though you tainted the jury, right? By saving them. And it's like, there's a good chance that if a potential Avenger walks in the courtroom every day, that jury might go, whatever she says, I'm with. And it's like, wait, really? Yeah, fuck everything. I am with.
You can't be wrong.
Right, yeah.
Like, yep.
You know?
This all right. We done right. Come on.
It's like, yeah, no, we're good. Like the jury goes, no, we don't need to go back there. We all agree. We're with her. But Dom, what I want to pass to you is, so the reason why I started off lying on everybody is because this episode didn't get talked about enough for the massive lie that was told, right? So we obviously get reintroduced to Emil, right? He gave the biggest fucking lie to She-Hulk. He legit goes, they poisoned me. They made me into this. The government. I was this great soldier defending my country. Look what the fuck they did to me. And she's like, really? I feel for you. Not realizing this motherfucker went and splashed some Bruce blood in him and splashed that in him and then was like, make me strong. Right? And it's like, well, the government didn't do that.
It was a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah,
I believe that if he didn't do his part, it wouldn't have been that. So I believe so when we saw him first fighting Hulk, where he had the advanced speed and all that, that's really all that super soldier serum was supposed to do. Right. It's when he spliced it that he became the monster.
Greedy. Yeah, he got
right,
greedy.
is when he became the monster, right.
He forced this dude into Burn Stearns, whatever, into giving him more.
Right.
He warned him, like, you'll become an abomination.
Right. And he was just like,
but I feel like if the government at that time, they would have heard it, they'd be like, all right, well, hey, keep it coming. Keep it coming until
it works out.
Right.
I'm not sure, because to me, I think if you're hurt in that moment, William Hurt, I'm referring to, if you're him in that moment, the worst thing, at least with the Hulk, you know that there is something that kind of brings him back, right? It was Betty. Obviously, so they switched it to Natasha. But it was Betty, right? That was his heart. You always knew you had that, right? You could always use that. But with Abomination, what is his weakness? What can you do if he ever decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm my own man. I don't work for the government anymore. Right? So I'm like, at some point, I think Hurt would have went, might have to figure out a way to kill them both. I can't have either one. I can't have either one. Ross, I'm sorry. The actor's name was Hurt. I think that's where I keep fucking up. Yeah. Thunderbolt Ross. I'm sorry. I apologize. But Dom, the Pat, so your thoughts on the idea of just fucking lying. Like, your thoughts on our reintroduction to Abomination, and then your thoughts on the episode.
I mean, clearly we know what calms him down. It's 7 pen pal, his soulmates. That's what calms him down. I mean, that'll calm anybody down. 1 is enough, but 7, I don't know. Hey, he's more man than I am. But
he's doing something
right. No, I mean, I like the playfulness. I mean, the whole scene kind of starts with the Hannibal Lecter joke. It's going a nice Chianti and some fava beans, and dude's like, yo, like, this shit is serious. Like, chill out. So it gives off that, like, that back and forth of, like, this guy can tear everybody to shreds in that building, but right now he's under watch, so he has to play up this, oh no, I'm peace and love and namaste. So we don't know, like, is he gonna stay chill like that, or is, you know, I mean, at any moment with that kind of power, and you already were kind of an asshole. I mean, do you really change that much? I don't know, man. Like, I kind of don't think so. I want to be somewhat optimistic, but if I try to destroy a whole city and another person, and you just lock me up, I'm gonna get you more mad. Like, no amount of meditating or anything is gonna make me change that much.
I wanted to ask you, Dom. And you guys, Joel, Didge, and when I pass to you guys, you can speak on it if you want, and then Trayvon, I'll make sure to loop back to you. But Dom, I am curious. So obviously, with us knowing that Daredevil at some point will be introduced, right, into the MCU, right? So we clearly know the Hulk versus Abomination happened in what city? Do you remember?
Harlem.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, Harlem specifically.
What borough?
Yes, borough. Right. Man, I'm sorry. Do you think there's any chance that when we do get back to Luke Cage, that might be something that's talked about? Is the damage and the rebuilding of Harlem after the events of the Incredible Hulk?
That's a good question. I don't know, man. I'd like for them to kind of re-enter that realm and kind of give it an overhaul, because I feel like out of everybody, Luke Cage kind of got the more his I feel like his character wasn't as taken as seriously as everybody else's when it should have been. It's like, yo, like Harlem, like the illest nigga in Harlem right now. Like, you gotta, right. What are you talking about? So I would like them to do that. I mean, the door's open for that to happen, and why not? Why not do it?
And the main reason why I'm asking that, because I know people are like, well, no, clearly they didn't mention it in Luke Cage.
They did.
I get it, but no, I thought they were talking about Avengers.
They mentioned the fight too at one point, I think. I have to go back and watch it, but I do remember. I remember something.
Because I remember. Wait, in Luke Cage they did?
I think so. I will have to go back and check.
No, you know I trust you. If you say it happened,
I don't trust me. I'm just saying. I think I remember. I remember talking about it.
So the main reason why I say that, Dom, and I'm sorry, I'm going to pass it right back to you. The reason why I ask that is, to me, I kind of feel like seeing other people's point of view of the whole blip situation, I'm kind of over. I now would like to see, like, when we saw the start of Hawkeye and we saw the attack on New York, but through Kate Bishop's eyes.
Right.
I really loved that, right? Like, seeing how defenseless and helpless she was in those moments. So I'm like, if you flip that, right, and you go to Luke Cage trying to help people out of buildings that collapsed during that fight and stuff like that, like he never got a chance to get in there and stop the Hulk and Abomination because he was busy trying to keep the community together from, everybody dying. I would like to see that and then see kind of what the consequences of that was for Harlem, right? Like the rebuild. And then if you want to go back into his story, you could even have a character come in that might have that might have become mayor off of the back of the destruction of Harlem. Shit like. So I'm like, there's ways to really connect it, to make it fun, to make it cool, seeing it from other people's point of view. Because I'm like, there's massive moments in the MCU that happen that we see, and because you couldn't really at the time expand it, that was it. You only saw it from the Hulk's point of view.
Right.
I would like to see it from the rest of Harlem's point of view. Like, goddamn, I couldn't go to Manhattan with this shit. Come to Harlem, like, goddamn.
Isn't there a comic run where Luke Cage becomes mayor for a little bit?
I mean, right now.
I can't remember. I think I have it right somewhere.
Right now.
Okay. Can even do that.
But I mean, I need Luke Cage to come back because I want to see Luke Cage, Blade, Brother Voodoo, Black Panther do some kind of team up. And I'm gonna need for Kevin Feige.
Nation of the Domination?
Yeah, I'm gonna need them to look. If they don't give me this, me and Feige gonna have some conversation, man. I will find you. I need some kind of. I need the revolution to happen a little bit. But no, I like the episode was really good. I mean, there was a lot of comedy. I think we're skipping over the Iron Man 3s though. I like to see what those would actually look like. Like they gotta make some kind of prototype for an episode and have them in a window.
It should be an
something.
Ironheart.
Yeah,
should be rocking
That
those
would be.
shits.
That would
Riri
be
should
dope.
be rocking those
Oh,
shits.
the threes.
Yeah, the threes.
But no.
Really quickly, Dom. So Mike just put here, Luke Cage season 2 gives one reference to the Hulk, but it's a throwaway line about who's stronger. Nothing addressing Harlem. Because I'm like, almost every show addressed Hulk, but I felt like it was in the manner of attack on New York rather than the Hulk's personal movie. It was more about the Avengers movie and how that affected all of New York rather than, just a borough.
I want to correct myself. Harlem is not a borough. Harlem's a neighborhood in Manhattan, northern Manhattan.
Sometimes it don't feel like it, but yes, Joel is absolutely correct. Sometimes Harlem does feel like it's its own.
It's like Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen, same thing. It's in Manhattan. It's a neighborhood in Manhattan.
It's okay though, guys. Me and Joel's excuse is we don't live in New York. But Dom, you can go ahead and finish it up.
Oh no, I did. Speaking of like the Hulk movie, I did enjoy that line of like, I'm a different person, literally.
Yeah.
Like that was great. I think that's what this show is really good at, is putting these little punchy one-liners in there.
Yeah.
And it's always like the look at the screen afterwards. It makes it that much better because she's like, haha, like, oh, it's so good. But I mean, I don't trust Holloway. Any old person in the MCU besides Cap can't be trusted. You can't trust these old people. I mean, she's already kind of getting exploited by, when you're here, you got to be in your She-Hulk form. But y'all know that, like, I can switch back. What's the point? Like,
to be fair, though, you kind of got to respect the person who tells you very directly, I'm using you.
I mean, for sure.
You're
for
a
sure.
Hulk, right? Like, I'm not trying to, dance around it. You're here because I'm trying to create a division, and you are going to be my face for it.
And Nikki was like, who cares? Look what we have. Look at this view. And she's like, all right.
Wait, hold on. Dom, let me tell you, when she said that, I immediately thought of Trayvon. That's some shit Trayvon was, how the fuck you being exploited? Look at all this money we got. Look how beautiful this office is. I don't give a shit. Like, here, take this $100 bill and dry your tears off. I immediately thought of you, Trayvon. I was like, Trayvon would 100% be that friend. Like, I don't give a fuck. Dry your tears.
We ain't hurt nobody.
Dry your tears with all the money we're gonna make.
Yeah, come on, man. Dry it up. But no. So Dom, did you want to talk a little bit about those two Easter eggs that we saw underneath the Iron Man 3s?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that the big body in the water was going to get brought up at some point. I didn't know how they're going to do it. It'll get brought up again. I'm sure something will land on top of it, or someone will shoot through it. It's going to get brought up again.
It's going to be a base, bro. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be. And the Wolverine reference, or possibly Wolverine reference, it kind of makes me think like, okay, if we got the mutation thing in Ms. Marvel, are they saying that they've been here the whole time? Is this like a Kang messing with the timeline type of situation where like they didn't exist but now they exist out of nowhere? Like, it kind of makes me wonder, because I feel like with the Kang dynasty, I feel like you can't just make it this thing that's happening in this movie. It's going to be something that's happened throughout phase to the next phase to the next phase. So it makes me think. It makes me wonder what they're going to do, if we're going to see any more appearances before we get, like, big appearances before we get to Kang Dynasty. Right. But I mean, it could be someone other than Wolverine, but I think it was there for that reason.
Claws.
Yeah.
I mean, I also really loved the fact that we've heard the word mutant, and it wasn't from somebody we would have expected it from. The word mutant was not attached to that headline, right? And it's like, we got the word mutant for somebody that you could argue shouldn't even be a fucking mutant, right? So now I'm just like, I'm very interested to see how that now expands to where that's either a word that once the public gets ear of, you got Xavier coming out like, no. Don't try to take my shit. We've been saying mutants for forever. right? Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, no. Don't know. You didn't create that shit. All right? We've been mutants over here for like 3-4 decades now. I'm just very excited to see how that word expands itself, right? Because like when it was said to Kamala, she was just like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
what the fuck that is?
you gotta look
All
at it
right.
like this too. Like there's a whole now like division of superhuman division right now. This law.
Yeah.
Where are these powers coming from? Where the fuck are these people with powers? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it can't be everybody getting in accidents. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
did we just
Right.
scrap the whole Inhumans thing? Is that done
I hope not.
completely?
I hope
Because
not.
I
don't
love
think so.
because I love the whole Terrigen Mist thing when they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Right.
how these people popped up randomly and some just died, some got powers they couldn't control.
I will
And
say
then
this, Dom.
you
I
know.
will say this because I know a lot of people feel like, oh man, now they're not going to do it. I will say this. I would recommend everybody go back and listen to how extremely pumped Feige was when he first unveiled that massive plan, and Inhumans was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't rave enough about how much he loves the Inhumans, and I kind of feel like now you have a chance to use them. He's not gonna just say, nah, fuck it.
And we're getting
I don't
we're
see
getting
that.
Quake back, right? We're getting
Maybe.
Chloe Bennett back.
Maybe.
Once we see her back, that'll tell me something.
Look, she better come back. Look, that's my second
I will
wife,
tell
all
you
right?
this.
You can't promise she'll be an Inhuman if she does.
I will tell you this: if she does come back, that'll be very interesting because then that opens a can, right? Because then if she comes back, you then will have, and I'm not saying it's a large amount of people, but some people will feel like, well, why can't Coulson come back? Like, why is it she can come back but Coulson can't come back? That whole timeline of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was supposed to always be over in a corner somewhere, right? But now that we see that the fact that the Netflix shows are supposed to be the same thing, they're integrating them, right? So we need to see.
We don't know. We're saying
No. I'm saying. Well, I'm sorry. Let me be more specific. They integrated the actors that played the specific characters somewhere else. So I'm saying if we do see Quake back, is it the same Quake?
Oh, right.
Is
Is
she
it
a
a
mutant?
different?
Is she a mutant?
Is she a mutant and not
Is
an
she a
Inhuman?
mutant and not an Inhuman? So like,
Because she has the same issue as Ms. Marvel. They made her an Inhuman because they were pushing humans.
Because I tell you
that
what,
though,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ditch.
I was gonna say with that, we're taking that the humans are gonna be mutants based off of one guy telling his friend that, yo, this is a mutation in your bloodstream. That doesn't. He could be wrong. Like
No. We're taking it from the music.
Fair the music too, but it's still like that could have just been something, just like, you know, throw you a little something.
A red herring.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it really is still
confirmation.
His friend, him telling his friend that though there's a mutation in your blood, and like the Inhumans is supposed to be the whole thing is that they're an offshoot of humans anyway. So I could see them being like, yo, this is a mutation.
I mean,
until you get confirmation down the road, like, well, no, it's not a mutation in your blood. This is actually who you are. So like, I don't want to put it 100% off the table.
I will say if I go that route, this was just really weird because like that scene just wasn't needed at all. Right?
Well, I think you needed to explain because remember her mom didn't have powers. You kind of needed to explain something as to why she was different than the rest of her family.
And I get you.
They could have left it though.
So here's my thing. So I remember talking to Joelle, and it was kind of just like, all right, clearly that's not what we would have done, right? But fuck it, it happened. It's done. We over. If you tried to backtrack that and go, well, no, it wasn't mutant. It was this. Like, to me, no, because you didn't have to put yourself in that box.
Well, no, you can have her fully believing it. You can have her fully believing it.
Remember this? They just said mutation.
I was just about to say, yeah. The music is really rubber stamped.
Man, look how pumped she was to say she was a mutant. Like after when they were interviewing.
I hear you. I think, and they could have. You guys could very much be right, but I think I just don't think that you could 100% put it off the table of
in the
it
MCU,
not being.
Of course,
well, of course, yeah. MCU.
I think humans is dead. I think humans is dead. To be honest. I don't think they're gonna touch them. I think once they did all that over there and the show and everything, I really don't think if I could touch it again. Honestly,
to me, like
Miss Marvel change
excited.
told me everything I need to know. To me,
See, Miss Marvel didn't need to be an Inhuman. I think what if he does Inhumans, he'll never do New Humans, which is what she was.
Well, they said she was an Inhuman anyway because they couldn't use X-Men.
Right, because they were pushing Inhumans. They were trying not to use mutants because that would push the Fox X-Men at the time. So that's why.
I get what Joel's saying. Miss Marvel being a possible mutant isn't nearly as egregious as if you told me Black Bolt was a mutant and not an Inhuman.
Whoa.
Right?
And that's why I was saying I don't think it's 100% dead, because then they wouldn't have. I don't think they would have used Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness, and damn sure wouldn't have said he's the king of the Inhumans. Like,
right,
the keeper of the Terrigen Mist.
The keeper of the Terrigen Mist.
Yeah, did he call him the king of the Inhumans too? Like so it's like. I feel like you wouldn't have. I thought he did.
I think he just said keeper of the Terrigen Mist.
I'd have to go back and watch it. I thought he said both.
But that's I mean, you don't use Terrigen Mist for not having
humans. That's an Inhuman. It literally goes right.
And what does that do with Namor? Isn't Namor known as the first mutant?
Dom, I'm trying to tell you. When Miss Marvel goes on television talk about I am a mutant, you are going to have everybody across the globe go, the fuck is she talking about? Like, Namor's like, I've been here forever. Xavier's like, I've been here forever. Like, everybody's gonna come.
Y'all haven't been here though.
That is true. You haven't been here, but they definitely gonna hop out and go.
But like, we don't know like how the term mutant is used, if they ever used it, or were known as mutants, you know. So maybe that's a terminology that will eventually be used for people with powers. Because right now there are a lot of different things: gifted, superhuman. We don't know what they are.
Enhanced.
Enhanced. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, remember, enhanced was only when they have
Age of Ultron.
That's still been used.
That's the only time he said it in Age of Ultron.
Yeah. But I think the damage controller said it too, didn't they?
Oh,
they were looking at Inhumans. I mean, when they were in this Marvel.
Gotcha.
I'm just waiting on them to say like Homo superior, and then humans like superior. They're not superior to me. They're freaks, and then get this
That's how mutants start right there.
Yeah,
it's like derogatory.
You gotta have.
And then it becomes empowerment.
Magneto. You gotta have Magneto like, see, now I gotta kill some of y'all. See, I wasn't even on that kind of time. Now we on it, right? Now y'all want to talk shit, right?
I had to double check. Yeah, because I was like, am I just misremembering that badly?
Okay.
Right,
no, not at all. Not at all. It was one of those things where it's like, Inhuman. Like, me hearing that name means so much.
So he said the Inhuman King.
Okay.
Got you.
And that's what I want to see in the future.
He's still on a different Earth, though. See, that's me. It's just like still a different Earth.
Fair, but I just feel like they wouldn't have used it at all.
I mean, it's not like we're not going to get Xavier eventually, or any of the other characters.
That's what I was about to say. Like, it doesn't change.
I'm waiting for all those things. I
mean, in time. I'm
like Doctor Strange is literally Doctor Strange on that Earth. So I'm like, I have no reason to believe the King of the Inhumans and the Keeper of the Terrigen wouldn't be the same thing in our universe.
1838. I'm just saying. 1838. Until we get in 616.
I mean, look. Here's the funny thing about what you.
Why are you saying them like they're zip codes, though?
He is like he repping, right?
Until it's in the 616, I don't want to hear a thing.
I hate that they gave me these numbers. Cause now I remember them. So
I love how Trayvon's like, they gave me these numbers. They gave you two, man. It's
like they gave him. Trayvon has a whole booklet.
Right? One of them, Trayvon, you don't even have to name. It's your constant Earth. Like, and the other one's gone now. So it's like you don't even really have to worry.
I can't help but say it. I don't know.
Okay. It's your boy coming at you from the 414. I would love to see Trayvon's MCU gang signs. I would love to see that. See how he rep it out here. I want to pass it over to you. So not only your thoughts on the episode, your thoughts on the Easter eggs, but I did want to go a little bit deeper into the idea of, like, what did you think? Because I couldn't help but laugh. But what did you think when she got super nervous? She calls Bruce, and she's just like, they want me to help Abomination. I know your enemies. And Bruce is just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah, he tried to butt in so many times to be like, look, I'm over it. and you could tell how nervous she was because she was rambling. And like I've been that nervous before. You just keep talking because you're like, I gotta get all this out before you say anything. Yeah, I've been that nervous before. You got to do that. But it was funny to see.
I will say the level of peace, and I can't speak to this because I am not one, but I've seen it a lot. The level of peace Bruce had when he was talking about Abomination sounds like somebody that's a papa. Once you become a father, you start to let go of petty bullshit, rivalry, shit like that.
He's rich.
He seemed like he just let go of some shit. Like he's like, I got a new lease on life.
I don't think he knows he's a dad yet.
I think he is happy as hell on his way to Sakaar to come see what he thinks is a baby, and that motherfucker's gonna be as big as he is with some swords. Fuck is up.
Bruce like Bruce is like, nobody gonna fuck with me, and I have money. I'm fine.
Or he might just think
that's he's fine.
He might just be like, look, I'm not even on this. I'm not even in your galaxy anymore. I don't care if Fam is running around. I'm out of here. I'll be back sometime later. Y'all figure it out until then.
You know what Bruce texted her. Like, yeah, ask him who won last time. Like, I'm good off of it because
yeah, I didn't take the L. So
yeah,
it's fine.
I didn't end up in a cell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's cool. But no, I like the episode a lot. You realize this is truly a sitcom, and I missed having a good sitcom to watch, so this has been great.
I was looking for one.
It's been great. Her getting fired though, my thought was this is why people become villains. Literally. Like that could have went completely different if she's looking at it like, I saved y'all and I lost everything. Fuck this. This is all of this goes. All of this burns. And they're just lucky that she was obviously a good person.
That's me.
I thought it. I didn't want to say it. I thought it.
I would have turned back right with the She-Hulk right then. What?
I'm not gonna lie. I had a quick thought. I'd have been like, man, somebody got to get fought now. Y'all bring Bruce back because somebody got to get fought.
That man would got thrown. What you mean?
Like, somebody got to pay. I did everything right and I lost everything. Oh, somebody has to pay.
Something's wrong here.
Somebody getting their ass beat.
I would have showed up the next day, right there, in She-Hulk form. Yeah.
I'm still fired. You look down at him like, so I'm still fired.
You pick him up to meet him eye level. I'm what? It's like, oh shit, put me down.
I'm dead now, right? I'm dead now, right? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, he didn't think that through. She could have just been like,
wait, time out. But that's how smart he is. The first thing he said was, hey, be Jin. Jin.
Right.
Definitely he was smart about that.
Yeah, he's like, I can maybe get one in on Jin.
It ain't you smart. You can change right back.
Yeah, but you might be able to get you
can get a sucker punch in before we're watching him changing or something.
You can slap the shit out of
him. You can bow.
Is she drunk too? She don't know what's fuck going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Her equilibrium's all off. See, yeah, you could have got a couple.
That's people's problem. They think he's drunk and you'll hear him. I hear you. I hear what the fuck you said. Okay. Don't try me. I hear you.
Yo, Trayvon just accessed a memory there. Like, I've been here before. Go ahead, Ditch. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. So other than that, then like I said, it's good to know Eternals was not just a fever dream. Glad to know that actually did happen. Who knew? Because it almost started to seem like maybe it didn't happen. Maybe that was all our collective dreams. So that was good to know. And then the Wolverine reference. I kind of hope they do all the mutant introductions sort of that way. Like the MCU is weird enough where it's like something new. It's just another headline where it's like, yo, some dude just like shot a beam out his eye. I don't know what that was about, and it just continued until eventually they're like, man, we really need to talk about this. And that's when they bring them all together. That would be funny. But overall, I'm enjoying the ride.
I would like them to obviously not connect them, but to use the headlines based off of moments from the old X-Men movies. Like
that would be funny.
Could you picture a headline of recent people talk about memory loss at a local museum? And like we know it was the moment where Xavier froze everything. in the museum.
I
Pyro
wouldn't want movie references though.
I would love
Even
that
if they
so
take-
much.
even if they
That shit
use-
would be
even if they
hilarious.
just
I already
use
have
old
them
X-Men
for
moments, like it could be from the movies, old comic moments or whatever.
Yeah,
just
like
use
big
those
comic
as
moments, that'd be
references
I'll
to
be
be
trying
like
to get people
it's a
hooked up.
headline somewhere.
I mean, they said, the first thing I thought of is, wait a minute. I've seen Wolverine fight in a bar twice. In live action.
In the cartoon, he fought in a bar too, though.
Yes, Blue Devil attacks president. Yeah, give me some cool shit like that. Like,
Again,
don't
that's a
show
movie
it. Don't show it. But just have it like a headline. We're like, okay, I know who that is. It's some dope shit. But yeah, I do want my mutant sprinkled all over.
Yeah,
However
just
I can get it,
sprinkle
all over.
them in until it's like then when you bring the Avengers together, however you want to do it, and you're like, there's been a lot of stuff. Like we need to talk about what's all going on, and then that's when you can formally introduce them, where it's like you kind of know that they're around before you actually know that they're around.
Right.
Like there's been a history of them. Like a massive.
Yeah, they don't just pop out of a fucking portal. As I was worried that might happen.
Joel was worried they would go ding dong, step right out, and go, "All right, we're here." He's like, "Whoa, what?" It's like,
that was the worst theory I heard. I'm like, I hate it.
I would love a one-off of that being how we're introduced to the mutants. They just step out of a portal. Hi, we're mutants. How are you? Really it's like, how you doing? We're here now. I am with you, Didge. That would be so much fun to see those essential like big moments that kind of like, okay, I know who that is. I know who that is.
Yeah. And it'll be a great Easter egg. You got to figure if you start throwing in moments like that from old comics, or even if it's the cartoon series. If you want to use the movie, I guess you could use the movies. I'd more so say.
I wouldn't swear too much.
I'm just saying, I would love nothing more than for on the news them to be talking about a shootout on a highway, and that's going. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. What are you wearing?
That's too broad.
It's like, oh shit,
yeah,
I know who that is. I like it. But no, Joel. To close this out, what were your thoughts on this episode and the plethora of Easter eggs that we got?
It's great, man. I was too short, but I did enjoy every minute I did get of it. I didn't even catch those references about like the Eternals and Wolverine until after. Looks like Trayvon, like on Twitter, they were talking about. When did I miss that? I swear to God, it happened so quick. You're gonna pay attention. I did, but I thought it still looked really good, even though the CGI was not as good indoors in the dark as opposed to her in the daylight. You know what I mean? It's always been the thing, you know. But she's great. I did love that dynamic. I don't trust the old man either, Holloway. I do believe there's something up with that dude. I am a little confused as to like. They show, I don't know if that footage is old footage that got leaked to stuff, screw over her case, because that, like, if it's not like that just happened, then it kind of is weird, because the end of Shang-Chi, you saw Bruce in the sling with the thing on, unless he said he was healed, and he's not even on Earth now. Like, yeah.
I think it's old footage, because remember, we were talking about last week, the showrunner was saying the timeline of where the show takes place.
Not long, yeah,
and it's
right after.
And it's after Shang-Chi.
Right.
So I think somebody leaked this to make her job a lot harder.
And that's why I think it might also have to do with Holloway, because I think he was behind Titania too. So like,
I mean, wasn't he in the comic books? Wasn't this an exact layout in the comics where he brought in someone to kind of fuck her over?
That I don't know. I do know that the only thing I know is what I heard today is that he's the opposite. He's that he wanted her to stay human while working for him instead of in this he wants to use her to be the She-Hulk. So like that's the only real big difference there that I know. I don't read enough She-Hulk.
Oh, he might have finessed her into revealing herself, and then he's like, "I'm your only option."
Basically,
that's I can see that.
What it did. Yeah, that's exactly what it did.
Because, like I said in the comic, it's opposite. He wants her to be human and work for him, where in this he wants her to be She-Hulk and work. So maybe that's why he wants her. That's like he exposed her basically, so she had no choice.
That makes perfect sense because we know in the comics she stays She-Hulk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes all the sense. Yeah.
I would
And then-
too. I feel
and
like I
then-
would say as the Hulk.
And we found out who this guy is finally. Josh Segarra, your boy.
Yes.
He's
Yep.
playing Pug, and I didn't know who the
Oh.
fuck that was either. I had to look it up. But apparently he's a dude that was a bouncer who had issues with the mob, and then Spider-Man saved him, and he ended up going to law school to become protect super heroes because he got saved by once. He wanted to help them out, and in the comics apparently he has a really big crush on She-Hulk and shit like that.
I wonder who
Love
saved him in this universe. That's
I
gonna
wonder-
be a lot of fun.
I
You
wonder-
know who it's gonna be because you know who they tie to every fucking thing. You know who it's gonna be.
Could be
You
Daredevil.
know they're gonna say Stark saved him. You fucking know. You
I
know
mean,
they're gonna say Iron
And he does sound like he's not from California. He had kind of played the accent a little hard, didn't he? Right?
Man. Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe it was Spider-Man.
That's gonna be interesting. And then last thing before we get out of here, of course, talking about Easter eggs, the auntie when she had family dinner.
Ched, because Ched
Yes.
Yeah.
To know the auntie and to know the cousin is to know that auntie is very nefarious when it comes to She-Hulk.
Well, Auntie, is that the one that was touching her hair?
Yeah,
Yes.
trying to.
Yeah.
She was a
Yeah.
hairdresser, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that someone? Okay.
No, because you're talking about the one that that the guy was saying her.
Aunt Melanie? No.
Yeah, no, it was the other one. The one with she had like white hair, silver. Yeah, white
Silver hair?
whatever the fuck, silver hair.
Were there two aunties? I thought it was just her mom and then her auntie. Were there
All I
two?
know is
No, there was like three women. There's a silver hair lady. There was her
Oh
mom.
man, I missed. I don't
There was,
remember seeing the
the
other lady.
blonde lady, which
Yeah.
was the one that touched her.
I thought there were two ladies.
You know what's funny?
Two guys and a cousin
I think
Chet.
I did the cast today. She doesn't show up on the cast. Because
Which is really interesting.
I have Elaine Walters, Morris Walters, Aunt Melanie, Uncle Tucker, and cousin Chet. Where's the other lady?
Very interesting, right?
Interesting.
So, but to know the comics is to know
She didn't
that
talk though. To be fair,
Ah, okay.
Right.
That's probably why. Then I'm
Right.
thinking of the ones I can remember talking.
she
For
was
sure.
there.
But to know the comics is to know that cousin Chet does become a thorn in She-Hulk's side. He does turn out to transform himself into a very muscular, monster-looking thing. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. We've seen Feige introduce characters that we thought would be their comic counterparts and are more so comic relief or one-offs. So it may be that, because I really don't know where She-Hulk is heading to know whether or not they could squeeze that storyline even in it. So I'm not sure, but it is something to just reference. But before we go, Trayvon, I wanted to mention something that I thought you would think is hilarious. Titania being a super influencer is fucking hilarious.
It's wild.
I know you had to get a laugh out of that, Trayvon. I know you had to
I
get
followed
a
the
laugh
Twitter
out of
account
that.
today. So yeah.
You followed it?
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
I thought that was
Goodness
funny.
gracious.
That's okay.
That
We know
explains it.
Trayvon would be a super influencer, 100%. Like, watch me dog walk this motherfucker TikTok, and it's like,
and
damn,
and
Trayvon.
I think I forgot all about the family because I think they made me mad immediately. Because I was like, oh,
Why?
they're all shady. I would have left the house. I was like, you know what? Fuck this house. We'll leave it.
What?
They were
No.
all so shady. They were like, oh, at least he had like kept ironing it. They have a job.
That's
He has
hilarious.
a job. I was like, oh, okay. Now the family I'm gonna hate for a little while, I guess.
No,
Oh my
you
God.
know it's funny. You know it's funny because like and
She should have punched Chet.
sometimes
Ouch.
sometimes if you're not
Jesus.
used to it, sometimes if you're not used to it, you don't know how to look at it. But I didn't look at it as them being assholes outside of obviously the cousin. But the rest of the family, you know what they are, Trayvon? They're too fucking open. They don't have that part in the brain that goes, hey, this might sound really fucked up. Don't say it. They don't have that part of their brain that they can access that kind of tells them, hey, don't say that. So they're too open, right? So like when the dad goes,
And I
hey,
would've been too
don't
open,
worry.
too.
I told everybody you lost your job, so you don't have to worry about talking about it. And it's like, that sounds backwards. I kind of feel like if you said nothing, we wouldn't have to talk about it. Why the fuck would you tell them and assume now that that's not the topic of conversation? Like, that's a weird way to process that. So I think they're just too open.
From me, I would have like hit back every time.
I know, Trayvon, and it's why I'm trying to get it passed through legislation that if powers exist, you are not allowed to have them.
I don't mean like
Like-
every time they tried it. I was like, okay.
How many times y'all gonna try this? Y'all go around the table and see who can piss her off so she can change, so
That
she
is
can break
true.
this house. Is that what y'all want?
But I did like what her dad said, and that was when I was like, I really like her dad.
I like the dad.
Like, hey,
everybody else.
You're not even the worst Hulk. Like your cousin leveled a fucking city. Like you're good. You're good.
And he was asking the important questions. When Hawkeye, when he shoots an arrow, like what does he do with the arrow?
Yeah, he was asking the real stuff that we needed to know.
And you know what's funny? We've never really seen it because remember, Hawkeye, the series starts with him using his last arrow and then taking it out and then using that as his essential repel, right? So it's like, well, if he did it for that, does he go back after he's won and go?
Everybody else is heading out. He's running to the battlefield. Hold up, guys. Hold up.
Wait, picking up a bird scooter. He's like, hold on, I got over there. There's one over there.
You know, Clint. You know the first thing Clint is saying is, "Hey, Natasha, you busy?" It's like, no. What's up? What do you need? I gotta go collect all these arrows. She's like, bro, we were everywhere in New York. I'm not helping you drive around.
Uber arrows.
Like, if you don't call Stark to give you some money for some new arrows.
No, yeah, have Stark make you some more arrows. I no fucking time for that. He picks them up in the first Avengers movie if you look closely. He does. Oh, well then there you go. There you go. Clint picks them shits up. He's like, hey, I spent time and money on these, and I don't have much of either. Okay. So we're going to pick these shits up. But I'm very excited. Look, if this episode was this much fun with Easter eggs, the question will always remain, what will the next episode bring? Right? And I cannot wait to see. Because now it's like you got to pay attention to every little minutia, right, of what's going on. And it's funny because, remember we were talking the other day as we get out of here, where Mike was kind of saying, like, the idea of people having to watch every Marvel movie sometimes gets exhausting. I was just talking to my sister today that thought that recording that was played of Abomination fighting Wong, she was just like, damn, he's trying to get out of prison. Why would he sneak out knowing he's trying to get out of prison? And I was just like, no. I'm like, did you watch Shang-Chi? And she's like, I'm like, sweetheart, no. No, but I was like, did you watch Shang-Chi? And she's like, no, I didn't see it. I'm like,
there you go.
Go watch it. Go watch it. Like, go take a look at that. This will make more sense.
You know, something like that. I was watching, or I don't know why I watch this stuff, but I was watching a reaction of like WandaVision. It was so random, and they were watching it, and they didn't know who Monica was. They went past the full-time picture or the Maria picture, and they just had no idea. And it just, I just like the frustration I feel. While seeing this, I'm like, you don't know who that is at all? Like, are you serious? It blows my mind. It really does. Like, how do you watch this? How do you watch this and not know nothing? Like, I can't. I don't get it. I can't get it. No.
And Mike did put in the group chat, because it's homework. You're right. And guess what she's doing tonight? Yes. Guess what she's doing tonight? She's doing homework. She's going to go watch Shang-Chi and Eternals. Hey. All right? Part of being a big brother is making sure that you know what the fuck is going on in the world. And I mean the MCU world. Real world sucks. You need to know what's happening in the MCU. So that's her homework. That's what she's doing as we speak. So I'm not really worried about that. But I am very excited to see what next week's episode brings. Yeah, Joel had to go. He's coming over here to get me. We're going out. So I told him, go, so you can head over here. But I want to thank Didge. I want to thank Dom. I want to thank Trayvon. Obviously, Joel. Obviously, our Oracle in the back. Thank you, everybody, in the comment section. Even though now that I say that, it was mostly us in the comment section. But whoever was not us that was in the comment section, we love you. But till next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.